Hi, pretty people. Welcome back to Pretty Girls, Ugly Feelings. I'm Gabby,
I'm Sophia.
and today is for all of our reality TV lovers. So, we are going to recap all the episodes that are out so far of Love is Blind. I think that's like 1 through 10, could be 11.
Currently, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I love Love is Blind and the dumpster fire that it could be. So, we're gonna have fun today.
for sure. And this season is definitely that. I feel like last season was kind of boring, you know? I've seen mixed reviews on this season, but the one thing I can say is that these castmates are really giving us something to talk about.
Yeah, definitely a lot to talk about, especially the men and just like their way of thinking and processing. Literally just saw a post today that was like, oh, this show doesn't really work because love is blind for women, but not for men.
A thousand
So I
percent.
think, yeah, I think that's a common theme we've seen across the seasons. There have been a few seasons where the women, like you could tell, were just like not into the guy. And it
Yeah,
definitely like,
oh yeah. I'm
yeah.
remembering, I can't remember that girl, the white blonde
Yeah.
girl with the Asian guy. That was last season, right?
Oh, yes. I was actually thinking of the other one that it was a guy, he was between two he had like two connections in the pods. It was I remember the girls' names, but not the guys. Sorry. Um it was Irina and Bliss. I think the guy's name might have been Zach
Oh,
or something.
yes. I do remember that. She was going
Yeah.
hard too. I remember
Yes. And she
in the
was
moment.
very
Yeah,
mean.
she
Yeah,
was.
yeah. And then she was like, oh no, like I was bullied, like too. So it was just a whole weird thing of like she was bullied when she was younger. So then she became super mean and she was trying to like justify it or whatever. She was like, oh, but I apologize, like this and that. That
That's
was
always so
weird.
weird to me. Yeah, fully so weird. Because I'm a big believer. I always say is like, okay, there's a reason, but that doesn't mean it's an excuse. So there's a reason why you're a bitch and that you're a mean girl. I get it. There's a reason, but that's not an excuse for what you're doing.
A
So
thousand
just be
percent.
better. Do better.
Yeah. Also, if something happened when you were younger, like yes, there are traumatizing things, there are things that people go through, but the world isn't catered to one person. So it can't be catered to you or your triggers. Like, not everyone's going to see you and just know that you were bullied when you were in middle school or something, or
Right.
know like how to react to you. Like, you have to communicate those things. And also, it's your job like as a person to work on those things and heal and do whatever you need to do so that you don't put that hurt onto others. Because I see people, which also I think applies to a little bit of this season too, with some of the guys that are like, oh, well, this part of my life was really hard, but it was like however many years ago. And you could tell it's still like very prevalent in their life. So,
Alex.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much.
Definitely. I
Oh,
think that's the thing.
sorry.
People like to use these reasons as excuses, and it's like, no, like that's where the work starts. Okay, you identified the issue, you identified the trauma. Nobody on this planet is unscathed. Like we're all messed up. It just is what it is. It's just some people choose to work on it and, elevate and become better, and grow. And other people just like to use that as their excuse for why they're never going to amount to whatever it is that they really think they should be.
Yeah, especially our generations, I feel like millennials, Gen Z, they would be the most understanding if you were to bring something up that happened and that you're working through and whatever, because literally the amount of like world, like life-changing things that have gone on since we were like younger to like now is insane. Like airports didn't have security before, then
Hmm.
9/11, or like school shootings and just like the world that we live in now is so different and more traumatic than it was previously. And I think if anyone's going to understand that, it's the generation that went through that with you. So I feel like because all of these people are typically around the same age in the cast, they should, I don't know, I just feel like it's easier to be honest with people who are like you can relate to.
I
So I never
agree.
understand like why it's so hard, or they think like, oh, people are not going to understand, or like, I don't know.
I feel like people, I don't know, and everybody is a different case, but I think on one layer, like people are just afraid to be vulnerable because maybe they don't fully know themselves or are comfortable with themselves. So they're like, okay, like, hey, I don't even know how to open up. I don't know, even know who I am. And like, what if I open up and then they don't like me still? So like sometimes people rather put up a wall or be an asshole or whatever it is because it's like, all right, well now you have a reason not to like me, not because I'm showing you my genuine self and you're rejecting it. So I feel like that's like one layer. And then a lot of people I think just don't know. Or
Okay.
and the
In
other
like
one
what
is
sense?
like
Like what don't they know?
and it's typically men, but like they haven't done that inner work. So like they don't even
Okay.
know where they're
Oh, okay,
deficient or
okay.
like where the problem really is. They don't even
Hmm.
realize this is why I'm so angry or like this is why I always do this or whatever it is because they haven't challenged themselves to get to the source of whatever it is they're feeling.
Yeah, that
And
makes
then
sense.
other people I think are just like similar to the first thing I was saying. I think they're scared to maybe get rid of that layer and they're maybe they don't reach those things. So it's easier, like, let's say for Alex, it's easier to just like dwell in the past of like the career that almost was than like wear that as like his badge of honor of like, oh, that's why my life sucks and like, or that's why I'm where I'm at. And like I've, instead of actually like trying to be like, okay, that was that chapter. Let me close it and let me overcome it. Let me do something else and like become something else. His identity is the goalie, the goalkeeper, the soccer player. That's all he knows who he is, or all
Hmm.
he knows himself to be. So to like shed that skin is, I don't know, I'm maybe uncomfortable for him or he doesn't know how. Being said though, we could roll into this season 10 because they really got a lot going on.
Yeah. Before we do though, we forgot to do what's been making us feeling pretty and ugly. So we'll do it quick.
Oh, okay, 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 cheers.
And
Okay, cool.
um, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and list off what's been making us feel pretty and ugly lately.
So what's been making me feel pretty lately is that I'm actually pushing myself because like I always go to the gym, but like, sometimes life is a little more busier, so you miss out. And then I feel like once you hit that stride of like you miss like 2 days in a row or whatever, it's harder to go. But I've been forcing myself to stay consistent even when I hit those little moments. And then when I go to the gym, I actually have a good workout, which I always do. Because if I'm going to show up, I'm going to leave it all on the floor. I'm not going to go for no reason. So that's been making me feel good. The pushing myself to do it when I don't want to, and then, getting the full benefit after. And what's been making me feel ugly? Apart from this weather and like the depression of winter, which is just going to be what it is until that ends, is
Hmm.
I feel like I can be doing more. And like that's like a constant thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm not doing enough. So like, okay, yes, I'm hitting the gym and doing great there, but like in work or like in goals and and money making right now, which I know everybody's feeling a little tight in the pockets, but all of it. And that's making me feel ugly because I'm like, wait, I'm not doing enough. There's something else I could be doing. I need to, and I'm just not figuring out what it is. So that's got me kind of ugly.
Yeah, same. That actually just reminded me of mine too. Um, yeah, for me, my what's been making me feel ugly is very similar. Like I feel like I don't feel productive enough,
Hmm.
especially on the weekends, because it's like you put things off till the weekend because you're working throughout the week and it's hard to find time to like get everything done. And then all of a sudden it's like 5 p.m. on Saturday and you feel like you're not getting enough done. And then Sunday is not enough time to do everything that you want to do. So, yeah, I think not feeling productive enough is also a common theme. Also because For me, I feel like there's just a lot of moving parts with work. I'll get a lot done in a day, but then if projects are not like complete, it doesn't feel super productive because it's not like, oh, I can check off that task. It's like, oh, I did so much work on a project and then I have a week left and it's pending on this person doing this person doing that. Or so just not being able to close out certain tasks, I feel like gets to me sometimes.
That's so real. I think that's something we need to work past and work
Yeah.
through. But it's
Yeah.
a very real thing. I think a lot of people feel it too.
I need to find the balance of
Hmm.
getting my personal stuff done throughout the week as well as the weekend so that there is proper rest time because if you don't have proper rest, it causes burnout. And I feel like I'm
Hmm.
constantly in a cycle of burnout. But
Yeah, that and you know what it is too? I feel like it's like burnout from like our own individual lives and then burnout from literally the world crashing around us. That
yeah.
noise, it doesn't help you feel any better about what your silly little tasks you're doing day to day. It's like, what does this matter?
Hmm.
We're in such like in unprecedented times that I think rest is should be a priority and we need to not feel bad about that.
Exactly. And then for what was making me feel pretty, I just went to DSW to try to find shoes for the wedding that we're going to.
Did you find something?
And yeah, I did because since I'm a bridesmaid, we have to wear like
Right.
all black closed-toed. And then I wanted a closed heel as well because if it's one thing about me, I'm gonna be on the dance floor. And it's also I'm gonna be drunk.
Fully, because why not?
So yeah, like it's a wedding, it's a party.
Hmm.
Um,
And it's all of us. Like,
and
it's, come on.
yeah,
We just
we're all gonna
carry on.
be turned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I also have a reputation to uphold because all of the groom sisters at the bachelorette party, we all had fun. And they were like, "Oh, I'm so excited for the wedding because we're all gonna dance with you." And I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to like do this all again, like be the drunkest again." But it's fine. We'll have a good time.
No, definitely we'll have a good time. I'm excited. You know, like even that, the fact that you guys are all in black, so like we're encouraged not to wear black, that's so hard for me, but I think I found something.
Oh, that's good. You have like your
Yeah.
dress and everything? Okay, you
I
should
have
send me a
three
picture.
options. I'm gonna send you. I have three
Okay.
options. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so crazy. Like I love that look. So like I'm not mad at her
Mm-hmm.
for going for that because I get it. It looks
Yeah.
fire when you have like all the bridal party in black and then
Mm-hmm.
bride in white. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good look,
Yeah.
but
Just the contrast like makes her pop.
yeah,
So
and it
it's
just looks so
perfect.
uniform too.
Mm-hmm.
But it is for the guests.
It's
For a
hard.
guest like me that always loves to wear like black, simple little black dress, I had to search a little harder, but I found something that I love. So I guess you know what? Getting outside of your comfort zone is
There you
great
go.
sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll all feel pretty that day. But
1,000%.
um yeah, it's just hard to find black heels that have a closed heel and closed toe that don't look like office wear.
Yeah, that
So
sounds nearly impossible, but
yeah, so I was really struggling with that. I have like a few options that I'm gonna decide between. One is just like at least need a strap because I'm like on the heel. Like even if it's not fully closed, I need a strap to keep my foot in that shoe because I'm also very clumsy. So I'm not about to like fall down this aisle.
no, absolutely
And
not.
she told me, because my boyfriend is a groomsman too, but she told me that we're not walking together, like we're each walking down individually. So I've never
Oh,
been in
like
a wedding
men and
before.
women?
I
Oh, I
guess so.
like
That's what she
that.
said.
That's like Love is
And
Blind style, kind of, no? Or like
well,
Married at First Sight?
I've just never been in a wedding before. This is my first one, and I thought I would have like my boyfriend's arm just in case I like stumble and I could like play it off. Nope.
Absolutely not. She threw you right into the ocean.
Yeah, but that's what the rehearsal's for, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
I
you'll be
have a
fine.
few options. That the shoes for the wedding aren't what made me feel pretty, but I did find these Betsy Johnson heels. They're like they're black, and then they have like flower embroidery on them.
Cute.
And these shoes, like I have a bunch of different shoes on my Pinterest, and they've literally been on my Pinterest, and I've never seen them in person. And when I found them, I was like, okay, getting them, like no questions. I don't have anywhere to wear them yet because they don't fit what I need for the wedding, but I will make an occasion to wear these shoes.
Exactly. I actually just saw a TikTok yesterday that was saying, everybody likes to do stuff in groups and together and as a trend, but they're like, ladies, this spring, summer, we outside in heels. Leave the flats, leave the kitten heels
Yes.
at home. Like the heels are coming back out. So,
I bought like three pairs of shoes that I didn't need, but they're along with that vibe. I bought these heels that are rhinestone, but kind of
cute.
like animal print.
Oh, I like that.
So I'll send you a picture later and maybe like add
Yes,
one to
please
the
do.
screen. But
Yeah, no, I love shoes. Retail therapy is real.
mhm. And I'm so excited to wear them just like with jeans. They're not like the type of heels you have to wear a dress with. So even just like a
Mm,
nice dinner
love
with
that.
jeans,
Yeah.
and they're like a pop of animal print rhinestone, like the shoes are the moment. Just some like plain black jeans, elevated basic as a top, and then the shoes are
Yeah.
the moment.
Oh,
That's
I
what
love
I
that.
imagined.
When you have a pop,
Hmm.
that really does like the talking for you. And sometimes that's keep it simple and then just that little, that's all it
Yeah.
takes. And then it's a
So
fit.
that made me feel pretty, the retail therapy that I didn't know I needed.
Oh, I get it. That's me every time. Every time I'm feeling down, I find myself shopping more. I'm like, it
Same.
works because I feel better, actually.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into talking about the episodes now. The pods I thought were okay. The past few seasons of Love is Blind have been kind of boring to me, so I kind of have them on the TV while I'm folding laundry or doing something else.
Exactly. Background noise at this point.
Because I feel like there wasn't anything super like eye-catching about the pods. Like some people had like touching stories, but it wasn't anything crazy except for the love triangle between Tyler, Kevin, I think his name was,
Hmm.
and Kia. Her leaving was the most interesting thing that happened in the pods to me.
1,000%. And what I did like about that is I feel like it's super real and representative of what we're going through as women right now. Generally speaking, or like, women are choosing themselves because
Hmm.
men are not cutting it these days more often than not. So it was good to see that reflected in media in Love is Blind, such a popular show. But I would agree, the pause wasn't really giving me anything to write home about. I feel like at this point, I only use it as like very introductory just to see who these
Hmm.
people are because
Hmm.
oftentimes who they are in the pods is not end up who they end up being.
Hmm. Like
But we'll get
Chris.
into that. Yeah. Oh my God, Chris is a sociopath.
Yeah, the flip was wild.
That was so, and you know what it is? Like, I didn't even fully pay attention to him in the pods anyway.
Hmm.
But I just know I could tell he was off, you know. I was like, there's something, but that even so, that switch was different. But that is a lot of men, high key.
Hmm.
That's what they believe. That's how they act. That's how they talk. Very
Hmm.
red pill. So
Yeah.
I appreciated him showing his ass.
He even brought up Andrew Tate.
He did
Yeah.
sarcastically, right? He's like, "Oh, they're gonna call
Yeah,
me
like,
Andrew
oh,
Tate
now
or
they
whatever."
think I'm Andrew Tate or whatever. Like, you brought him up, not them.
Exactly. He brought him up, and also he's acting a complete fool. Like that
Hmm.
crash out was what. Like, if we could just start there because we're already on it. But like
Yeah.
the whole reason he even brought that to Jessica, is
Hmm.
because he felt small. He felt little. He is physically small and little, but he felt
Yeah.
like she was so much better than him. And
Hmm.
he decided to, as her being a woman, attack her looks and her weight
Hmm.
or whatever it is, and try to make that the
Right.
issue to make her feel small. And she was just like,
he
nah,
couldn't
I'm good.
attack her socially or lifestyle wise because she's literally a doctor
Right.
and she already owns her own place, like all of this stuff. So he just
And a
felt small in a
beautiful
lot of
place at that.
ways.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like Napoleon complex, 1,000%.
Fully. And that's what a lot of times men do in real life to women. When they don't
Yeah.
feel up to par, they want to bring you
Hmm.
down so that now they have this woman who they really do see as above them, begging for
Hmm.
their love.
Hmm.
But shout out to Jessica, because nah.
Yeah, she walked away. Good job.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
happy. That's what he deserved. And I think that's why he crashed out because he was expecting her to be like, "No, wait, love me. I'm pretty too. Like, what do you want?"
Hmm.
And she didn't do that.
Yeah.
She was like, "Okay, noted. All right, I'm gonna move on." And the only
Yeah.
reason I think she even was emotional is because he portrayed himself so differently before that it was a mind
Yeah.
fuck more than anything.
That's traumatic. That's what a lot of people say. You have to wait to see a person's like true colors, like between 3 to 6 months in. Relationship timeline people talk about, like after 3 months, you'll probably have like your first fight. You'll probably start to see like true colors. Because like 1 to 3 months is typically like honeymoon phase. Like you don't really see anything super real, super deep. Then between 3 to 6 months, you're kind of trying to like figure out like, do you see a future, whatever. And then 6 and 9 months is when you start having like real fights, real like whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think the flip was hard. That's why also I could never do a show like this. Not only because like it's hard, not even because of like you can't see them, whatever. Actually, I'm saying not because you can't see them because of like physical aspects of people. I feel like that wouldn't bother me as much. It's more like I can't see you to tell if you're lying or not. Like I need to be able to see body language. I need to be able to see your eyes. I
Hmm.
need to know and like gauge if you're telling the truth. Because like when I'm watching, sometimes they'll show someone for like not even that long. And I'll be like, I don't like him, he's a liar. And I'll just determine that.
Hmm.
Based on like he's reacting to the conversations, but the girl can't see that. So
No.
then when a flip like this happens, it's like, but she wasn't even the only one who said that. Brie also said there was a flip. Like the disconnect was like messing with her between like how emotional and all the conversations she was having with like the girls or like in the pods with all these guys, whatever. And then they see each other in person and it's very like stonewall, like, what's the weather? How's this trip? This and that. Like,
Right. Surfacey.
yeah. I think the pods were like, okay, whatever. I could tell that I didn't like Alex from the pods. The rest of them, there weren't really that many red flags. Kevin, I didn't like just because he was very like, oh, you're so great. But he didn't like say his real feelings towards these women. And that's why he got left by both of them
Hmm.
because they were like, okay, you're not going to make a decision. And
Yeah,
then Tyler leaving and then coming back. I think she should have just left the first time
I agree.
instead of letting the producers or whoever she talked to convince her to try again. I think she should have just kept it pushing, whatever, and moved on instead of being like, oh, yeah, I'll try again and like redo. She was embarrassed about it, which I understand feeling that way because ultimately it didn't work out. So she's like, oh, what was the point of that?
Hmm.
But I think people shouldn't be embarrassed for like trying or giving their all to something because that says more about you than it does about the person who you're trying for. Maybe they didn't deserve that second chance, but
Hmm.
because you're like a good person and you're trying to like see things through, it shows better on you as a person instead of being embarrassed because the other person wasn't worth it.
Yeah, no, that's valid. I agree. I think Tyler should have just stayed gone. For me
Hmm.
personally, I felt like she was a little intense, and I feel like she kind of did a lot. So it just would have been better if she just stayed
Hmm.
gone from there. And I do feel like the way she was so intense is what made Kevin, get closer to Kia also because it's like, wow, this
Hmm.
girl is kind of doing a lot here, ma, like. Um, but I guess that's just like on one hand I do get it, like, all right, make up your mind, but on the other hand, it's kind of like being on his neck or like in general,
Hmm.
being on someone's neck is going to push them away more than be like, hey, you
Yeah.
know what? Actually, maybe this is the right person for me. I don't think they're ever, unless they got some like unhealed trauma, they're probably not going to be leaning in that direction because nobody really wants to feel
Yeah.
that level of intensity.
Also, because they know what they signed up for, they know that both people are going to be dating multiple people. I think there's constantly people showing themselves as hypocrites in Love is Blind. Whoever's in the love triangle, so like Kevin, for example, he had two strong connections, but the other girls that were his strong connections seemed like that was their only guy, like their number
Yeah.
one. So for the woman, like for Tyler, I think she didn't like it because she wasn't the one who had that. I think if she had stronger connections, like multiple of them, she would have maybe come from a place of more understanding. But it also happens when I think it was last season that there was a girl that had strong connections with two guys, and one guy kept trying to like put the other guy down or like say how he was better than the other guy. So I
Yeah.
think that wouldn't happen if like he had two connections versus like the girl having two. So, but
Hmm.
they all know that they signed up to date multiple people.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think just that when you have options, that one is not so do or die. It's not so critical.
Yeah.
That's in life too. Um,
Yeah, I did like that they didn't ghost Kevin. Like they said, like, oh, I'm leaving. Like I'm choosing
yes.
me, whatever. They both because last season there was a girl that just like left and it was like really sad for the guy.
Oh
I felt
yeah, I
bad
do
for
remember
him.
that. I did feel bad for him. And that was her. Oh, and then he ended up with that girl that then did that
Yeah,
wild shit to
because
him.
they were both Asian and they ended up like talking about that, which they shouldn't have. Yeah, and then
She was so
she
sweet too. I thought she was
yeah.
great. I think
I
she would
thought they
have
would
done
be really good
well.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. But that always happens. Honestly, at this point, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Love is Blind, you know, if you're going on it, I feel like the way I would play it if I was to ever do this, which would be never, I'm not seriously thinking I'm gonna fall in love with somebody
Hmm.
in the process in the 4 week in the full 6 weeks or whatever this is, let alone in the
Hmm.
pods.
Hmm.
So I feel like the best thing and what people do now is like, yeah, go on Love is Blind, you know, introduce yourself to the world. Case scenario, maybe even if you make it out the pods, is just say no at the altar. Use it as a platform to just, because
But that's like that's not the point of the show.
it's not the point of the show, but like, they not provide like the Vic is the only guy that I would say I think from what he's given us and what we've seen
Oh,
is
because
actually valid.
you're
Oh, the
saying that the
options are
guy
the
oh,
guys are
okay, okay.
ass. Like I'm not gonna want to end
Yeah.
up with any one of these. Look at Devontae
Hmm.
and Brittany.
Yeah.
That
Hmm.
blows my mind every time I think about it because Brittany's gorgeous, but Brittany
Hmm.
just wants to get married. She already had her
Yeah.
wedding dress. She came with a wedding dress already bought. So like it could have been anyone.
Right.
As long as she got picked, she was getting married. And it's insane because she's like outside beautiful, but inside seems super sweet,
Hmm.
close with her family, has her own place,
Yeah.
RN or like has her own aesthetics business. Like she really has it
Hmm.
all going on. And then you have this freaking like ogre acting like he's the prize, like he don't want to touch you and da, 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 da. And it's just his own internal hate for himself that
Yeah.
he's, projecting onto her. And she's just there begging for him to like give her a high five. Like, nah, man. It's insane.
Yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
I think yeah, that's pretty much it for me for the pods. Any other thoughts for you?
On the pods, no, it really got active after the pods. So that's
Yeah.
where my ears perked up. That's when I really started paying attention.
The trip that they go on, I was annoyed that Victor and Christine weren't there because they're literally the healthiest ones. And Netflix was saying like, oh, we only have the budget to send six people to a trip. And we decided to still follow the story of like the seventh couple. they should have been one of the first ones. Like they should have been in the six from the jump
Agreed. I feel
because
like that would
they
have
were,
shaken up the dynamic of those couples.
yeah, like just to see. I mean, I think they still went on like a staycation. So, but it was just like boring to kind of see
Yeah.
that versus like they didn't get to meet everyone else. They didn't get to like mingle or see. I think when all the couples meet each other and then they all kind of start to get insecure because they're like, wow, this couple seems really in love and like
Yeah.
we don't seem like that, or like, oh, everyone else is having sex. We haven't had sex yet. I think that's where things start to like get to people and unravel a little bit with Brittany and Devontae. She was telling people like, oh, like he doesn't really kiss me, or like she was feeling lonely in the mornings because he would just up and leave and like not say anything because she was sleeping. At least leave a note.
He just he hated her.
Yeah, literally. I think it's okay. Like it can be healthy to want your alone time, or like you can wake up at different times. You can leave her alone in the mornings.
Mhm.
But this trip is literally like you're there to spend time together. So if you know like, hey, she wakes up around this time, then you should be back in the hotel around that time. Or at least leave a note, hey, I love you, see you at this time, like we'll eat breakfast together. At least create the space for those like connections.
Yeah, my thing with Devontae is he was from the moment he saw her, he shut down. And that was it. He's like, it's not gonna like it's a no, and I hate that stubbornness, but like I recognize what it
Yeah.
was off rip. He was just like, yeah, nah, it's a no from me, and then he just went through the motions. His
Yeah.
grandfather dying or whatever, and then he missed out on that because of the that was your choice, Pa. No one told you to do that, but he
Yeah. And
really
he
thought,
literally said his family wanted him to continue and all of this stuff and like whatever. So you had all the support in the world. It was all you that like caused it to crash and burn.
yeah, because he wasn't trying. She wasn't his physical type, and then he just you should not be on Love is Blind. It's just that simple. You are not somebody who is, because if you are so affected by what your partner looks like, what are we talking about? Why are you here, sir? And then I don't
Hmm.
know if you've heard like the news that's come out since about what he's
Yeah.
got going on, but
Yeah,
yeah.
because people like his ex-girlfriend came out and said that he doesn't like black women
Hmm.
or like women of color. Like he typically goes for white women and that he like cheated on her, whatever. That's what his ex-girlfriend is saying. That
And he has
now
a
he's
baby
with,
on the way.
yeah, so he was with that ex-girlfriend like recently. Like they just broke up like end of last year. And he already has a new girlfriend and a baby on the way. So she's saying that there was like obviously some overlap. I don't know. I think part of the like, I don't like when I find out extra stuff like while I'm watching the show,
Hmm.
just because obviously that makes it clear that like him and Brittany didn't get married. So like you
Hmm.
kind of already know the ending. And
True.
then you know that the like whole show was a lie the whole time he was on it.
Hmm.
I think the craziest one that season was the guy, I think was it last season that he had like kids outside of the show that he didn't talk to her about. And it was
Oh, that
like
was a
he was
couple
like,
seasons ago.
yeah, he was just like, oh no, I was just a sperm donor for like my
Yes.
friend who was a lesbian and who was married. Come to find out they had like a whole relationship and like
Yes. I
she
think his
cheated
name
on
was
her wife
Tyler.
with him, something like
Yes,
that.
that mess. Tyler, I think
Yeah.
they called him Liler because like
Hmm.
hello.
And
Um
then they got married. Like that girl stood by him just for like a year later to get divorced.
yeah, season 7, Tyler Francis, there he is. Yeah, I don't know why she stuck by him. And like I feel like that's always the common thread in these shows
Hmm.
is like every single time. It's rare, except this season. I will say there's one
Hmm.
instance, but 9 times out of 10, I'm like, you could to the women, you could do so much better. This man is
Hmm.
trash.
Hmm.
This season there's one reverse,
Yeah.
but we'll get to that.
The trip, I didn't like how Brie wanted to talk to Chris. She was like, "Oh, I need the closure." Like, you don't need that's like talking to an ex. Like that was weird to me.
It was she's weird. Bree is a bird. That's why in my notes,
Yeah.
take notes. I was like, Bree is short for bird. I wrote that at least 8 times because she's such a fucking bird. Like I cannot stand that woman. But
Hmm.
yeah, that is weird. That is like like trying to get close. Ma'am, you don't know this man. You guys
Yeah.
spoke. You guys were freaking what do you call it? Pen pals, essentially. Verbal pen pals.
Yeah. At that point, all other connections are cut off, and they don't do that. It's so weird to me. Like, I understand you guys dated in the pods, whatever that's what you want to call it, dating,
Yeah.
but like once you choose your person, that's it. Like, even Alex was talking about how hot he thought Brittany was. And like,
Mhm.
yeah, she is, but that's not something you say when you're going to get married to this other person and she's going to eventually see the show. Like, it's not like they're not aware that they're on a show.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say the mess makes great media for us to consume,
Mm,
but it's so disappointing.
yeah,
Like from
because
a
if
human level.
yeah, because if that were me and then I chose to marry this person thinking like, oh yeah, like
Ugh,
everything was good, and then I see that they were like talking about another woman and how hot they thought she was and how I wasn't their type and this and that, I would be
yeah.
like, divorce.
Yeah, immediately, especially when this is like your castmate and like they're probably friends, at this
Hmm.
point. And he had told her so many times, well, what I don't like, and the men will do this, is that they'll sleep with these women first.
Hmm.
So like,
Hmm.
everyone's like hype, it's the vacation. They all like, oh yeah, I taste tested, or whatever they want to call it, like they got
Hmm.
intimate with their partner, all for him to then come out after and make you look crazy talking to Brittany and then even telling Ashley to her face, yeah, like you're not my usual type. Like I like darker features.
Yeah,
Why'd you sleep with her?
right.
Why even so you waited you acted real thrilled and everything before, and now that that's done, it's just like mask off. Yeah, actually you're not really my type.
I know.
Disgusting. I hate them.
Yeah, no, literally. That's the other thing that would get to me too. And they say it like, oh, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. And I'm like, okay. And if she said that about you, you'd feel this small.
Exactly. But that's the thing. It's like you had said earlier, typically love is blind for women is real. And I think
Hmm.
because we'll see past the physical if there's something redeeming within you. Men,
Hmm.
it's just more often than not
Right.
just their desire.
And like you're saying, they know so quick, like whether or not they like you. And for them to still go and like sleep with these women and then act like, oh, I don't know why she's like that into it. Like she knew this and that. Hello.
It's just it's great because it shows that like women these days we're not insane because you're seeing like what's going on, on a
Yeah.
smaller scale day to day
Hmm.
in your homes on the big screen. It's like positive and negative. On one hand, it's like, okay, I'm not alone. If you're dealing
Yeah.
with this, but on the other hand, it's like, is there any hope? Like, you
Because
know?
it happens everywhere, every
It,
state, every season.
yeah, it's insane.
Hmm.
And like, I can confidently say the men are the issue. Not every
I
time,
agree.
not in
Yeah.
every instance, but more often than not,
It's
it's
not
them.
every man, but it's always
No,
a man.
exactly. Exactly that.
Yeah. My favorite thing after the trips are when they go to each other's houses because a lot of times the single girls like sorry, I'm looking at my picture. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Amber, she's the one with the daughter. She had like
Yes.
a very girly setup because obviously
Hmm.
she was single, there was no men there. And then the guys, because they were single, they have a very like man cave setup.
Hmm.
He wasn't wrong about Connor's house. Like it did definitely give frat boy,
Right.
but I do feel like she put him down a lot, being like, "Oh, you're just a boy. You're just a boy." Like, you know,
Yeah.
like he's
No,
an
I agree.
adult.
Yeah, she was just laying into him a little too hard. Like, yeah,
Mm,
frat vibes for sure. But like, I don't know. I don't know if that was her like starting to create her exit route or what, because she did
mm,
not let up on him. She was kind of mean.
yeah.
She was super antagonizing, super negative.
Hmm. Because it was
Um,
constant. It wasn't just
yeah,
yes, his house did give frat boy, but it wasn't just that. It was like if they were cooking, if they were doing anything. And then she kept bringing up his house. Like at that
yeah.
point, let it rest. You're experiencing other stuff with this man. Like, move on.
I want to look up her sign because she just um so annoying to me, and I'm like, why? She was like a dog with a bone. She would not let up on it, and like Connor, that's who I was talking about earlier. This is the one instance
Mm.
where I feel like the guy is actually too good for the woman.
Yeah, he was just a nice guy. And even when she would say, like, oh, you're just a boy, he's like, I'm just a regular guy, like a normal guy who just like goes to
Blue collar
work. And
man,
then,
yeah.
yeah, he kept
And
calling himself, like, oh, I'm just a blue collar man.
he's not doing bad for himself either. He has his home. He has his job
Yeah,
that sounds like he's making good money.
yeah.
Um,
He was one of the few guys that had a house.
exactly. Oh yeah, she's a Leo.
Okay,
But I feel like she has to have
interesting.
like a lot of Virgo placements because she like that antagonistic, super like nitpicky it was
Hmm.
giving me Virgo, and that stubbornness is giving me Earth sign. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Hope
I
I'm
didn't
sure
like her
they'll
at
eventually
all.
come out with. Didn't like her. Don't like her. She's a bird. Not a girl's girl. Uh, I didn't like the way
Her
she handled the
having,
combo with
yeah,
Chris.
when everyone met together, her not shutting that conversation with Chris down, like you already knew he was a weirdo because he already DM'd you.
Yup.
So the second, like you didn't need to know anything about their relationship. You can find out from your friend who's the girl.
Yeah, what she should have done.
And yeah, and if the guy that you're with is friends with the guy, he can find out from the guy and then y'all can discuss. Like,
Hmm.
not that hard. And the second it turned weird and like him trying to put her fiance down and him trying to put Connor down, she could have been like, okay, like this is where I end it. Like even though she was like, oh, like I would only do this with Connor, and even though she wasn't like saying anything bad about Connor, I feel like she was still looking for him to like put her up like on a pedestal
Yep.
because she
Hmm.
knew he was into her. Like you already knew this man was into you.
Yeah.
So she knew he was gonna like say stuff to like put her high, whatever, high up on a
Yeah.
pedestal. And then it felt like she was just there. Like that conversation went on for way too long. And she was just there to like find stuff out, to hear stuff that would make herself feel good. When in
Yep.
reality, that's just going to make your fiance feel bad because he's questioning, like, why are you talking that long with this man?
Hmm.
And like he already talked about on the show having insecurities and like jealousy and things like that. So, and she already knew that. So
Yep.
why would you put yourself in a position that could potentially hurt your partner? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to I think she maybe 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Connor. Like she kind of
Hmm.
already felt because like if you're really like your man, like my man, that would you would
Yeah.
not entertain that combo for a second. As soon as he tries to please
Hmm.
his side, be like, I'm good. Stay blessed. Have a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not talking to him. Even when he brought up sex, that's weird. And why are you giving him anything?
Yeah.
Like there were just
Yeah.
way too many points in that conversation that she should have shut it down. And her entertaining it is exactly that. She was just trying to get a little boost to her ego, a little validation real quick. She wanted to feel, because like let's be honest, like Jessica is that's a catch.
Yeah.
So for Bree to feel like somebody's picking her over Jessica,
Hmm.
that's like okay, like she's gonna eat
Hmm.
it up, and like that's weird to me. All of it was
Yeah.
weird to me. Bree is a bird. She is weird to me. I don't understand
Yeah.
any of it. And there was not, I don't think anything I stood by when it came to her and Chris's combo.
No, and then it obviously got to her head because after that conversation is when she started to like bring up all this stuff about Connor, like, oh, you're not an alpha male. I need an alpha male. Like,
Then go
hello?
be with the alpha male. Go. Your 5'2" king is right there, shorty. And
Yeah,
he's gonna do
like,
the same thing to her. He's gonna play her that same way. but she's the type
Exactly.
of woman that can get wrapped in because now they're just like competing for like,
Yeah.
who's more whatever. The other thing I didn't like was he used the excuse of like the Pilates but like whatever. And then her being like, no, I understand. It's the discipline. It's the discipline that you just want to see the discipline. Like, no, a doctor,
Yeah.
a medical doctor does not have discipline.
Yeah. The
Pa fuera.
discipline
Like, I know you're
of
lying.
going to school, of sorry she's in the hospital every day, and also the Pilates body is a myth. I do Pilates like consistently, and there's so many different shapes and sizes of people there. There's people, I've seen girls who are like 100 pounds. I've seen girls who are like probably 200 or more, like any type of body, tall, short, whatever, in that class. Like, and it doesn't matter. And there's girls that like go consistently. And it's not even that, oh, if you start going to Pilates, you're going to lose weight. Because literally, once I started going and being consistent, I started gaining weight because I was gaining muscle. For him to act like it's one specific body type, it just isn't true. Like, he obviously doesn't know because it's not like he's going to those classes.
Exactly. It shows his
So,
ignorance.
so there's just so many different body types. Like anyone can do Pilates. I've seen women in their 60s, like or like almost 70s, doing Pilates, and like
Yeah.
there's no one Pilates body type.
There's
That
not. It's
like was
literally
just
that
so
was an
stupid.
excuse. It was just an
Yeah.
excuse because he felt small. She didn't make him feel like a man, but he's so
Yeah.
dominant. Like, let's read between the lines. Like, people with sense see what's going on. Chris and
Yeah.
Bree don't have no sense, so they're living in their fantasy and they're boosting each other's egos, and that's fine. I'm gonna let them have it. Leave the
Yeah.
crumbs for
Like
the
okay,
birds.
go be together, like have a whack relationship, like whatever.
Yeah, and I
Because
even
like
saw a meme today that was saying like low key, Bree was kind of entertaining that combo until he said fuck buddies.
no, literally she was,
Mhm.
because it was fueling her ego. And like you said,
Yep.
like women like that don't realize, like they'll think, oh, because they're pick me. So they don't
Mhm.
realize like, oh, he won't do that to me. If he could do it to someone else, he could do it to you.
And he will. Not only
Yeah.
can he will. Every time.
Like
I've seen
how
it.
you
He
get
will.
someone is how you lose them. So
Yep.
like they'll do
All
the
these
same
things
thing
are
to you.
sayings and like ideas and stories and whatever for a reason. It's because they actually happen
Yeah,
without fail.
1,000%. So I
Good
don't
luck
know.
to
That
them.
whole thing was just dumb. At the meetup, Kevin like trying to talk to Kia, being like, "Oh, Kia, so great." That was hilarious to me. Like, man, you already had your chance.
Exactly. Like pay him dust, especially once she was able to see him, he was able to see her. Another case of she was too good for him, and I'm glad she saw
Yeah.
it before they even, met.
Yeah, but even I also hate when like they leave the pods and then they wait to the meetup to like talk to this other person. You could have found this other person on Instagram. You could have reached out
Fully.
before that. If you had like tried and exhausted every option, then I would be like, okay, like he actually tried. But he still was so like nonchalant, and like I don't think he thought he was the prize, but I think he just didn't do enough for women that were the prize.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't rising to the occasion.
Yeah. I have no issues with Victor and Christine. I like them.
Yeah, I like them. I wish they would show us more because I don't know. Everything we see is good, but I don't know if it's like I don't know if there's anything else under that. I think they're having very important conversations and they're being super honest and I like the way they treat each other and they speak to each other. So I have nothing bad to say about them, honestly.
Yeah. I think they just aren't showing us enough of them to know if they're like
Mhm.
actually having issues that they work through or whatever. Amber and Jordan, I feel like she has some issues she needs to work on as far as putting past relationship stuff on him, because he's been open about being worried about her daughter liking him. And then she kind of went off on him after the party, hearing like him having concerns, which I feel like he was open with her about having concerns, but she made it seem like he wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, but they worked through it, whatever. It was fine. Emma and Mike, their dynamic is a little weird to me because she doesn't want kids as of right now. He
Hmm.
does, and she's kind of
Yes.
never wanted kids. I usually like seeing the couples meet their person's family. I did feel bad for Emma when she met Mike's family because they were kind
A
of like
thousand percent. They can't
they
stand her.
came,
Well, the mom.
yeah. I felt really bad for her because even if you don't like the experience or don't like that's something your son chose to do. So I felt like she was taking it out on Emma
I agree.
because of like a choice that her son made.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt bad for her because I was like super uncomfortable. And then when Mike met Emma's family and her sister said like, "Oh, I wanted kids. I've always wanted to be a mom, but like if I could do life over, I wouldn't have kids." That was so weird to me to say.
Listen, that was super telling to me.
About
Um,
what?
I feel like I think she was being honest, and how it came across to me is that she knows Emma, she knows her sister
Hmm.
well, and I'm sure she knows maybe children was just never in the cards for Emma. That was nothing that, and it seems like Emma's been honest about that. That's something she's never really wanted to explore, to have kids, and that's like her own right.
Hmm.
So I feel like that whole back and forth was Emma's sister trying to stand up for Emma in a way. That's
Yeah.
how I saw it. She's trying to be like, because he did, they had that convo of like, does she regret it? No, because I'm sure she doesn't regret it. The kids are here, she loves them, obviously. But for her
Hmm.
to make that distinction of if I were to do it all again, I wouldn't have them. I think that was super honest, and I think she did that because she didn't want her sister to, I guess, sacrifice her own whatever it is, everything really,
Hmm.
just because this man wants it. So I actually
Yeah.
appreciated her saying that because I've seen even more and more women having that sentiment and having that conversation
Yeah.
because we've always been, conditioned to like want the man, the house, the kids. But these days you genuinely do see that's more men are kind of after that. Even in my own experiences now, I'm not dating anyone, but like speaking to men, like that's something that they're prioritizing more
Hmm.
than a lot of women.
I think I think they were sticking up for Emma a lot in general in the conversation, but I just worry about like her kids seeing that later and being like, oh, like them feeling some type of way about it. I do want kids eventually, not anytime soon, but like every time I think about kids or like pregnancy, it makes me not want them. Even
Yeah,
though I've always wanted kids. Ask my mom. I'll be like, was this all worth it? Because, or like if my one of my siblings does something that I feel like isn't treating my mom right or whatever, I'm like, is it all worth it? Because you go through all these hardships and all this stuff, and I don't know if that's worth it to me.
yeah, no, I think it's real. I think I was always like, yeah, like, I could see myself having kids. I think I'd be a really great mom.
Hmm.
But like right now, no, I do not want kids.
Yeah.
Like for
My
what
mom
like
always says that it's worth it. My mom always answers like, "Oh yeah, like I'd do it again," or like, "Oh, it's not as dramatic as like people make it seem." And I'm like, "Is it though? Like, where's the girl with the
yeah.
list? Like on TikTok, the girl that has like
Yeah,
the list of all the reasons why it'll be like, "Oh, like I was
literal.
breastfeeding and my baby bit my nipple off,"
Nipple off.
or
Yep. No,
like,
there's too many things.
"Where's the girl with the list?"
Yeah, I need to ask my mom that. I know my mom would always be like, "Oh, it's so worth it," but I do want to ask her that specific question. If you were to do it, if you were to do this life again or to do
Hmm.
life again, would you choose to have kids? I kind of feel like she might say no. I mean, she loves being our
Hmm.
mom, so I don't
Hmm.
know. But and what's crazy is I wouldn't take it personal. If she said no, I'd
Yeah.
be like, "Bet I hear you, man. Shit, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
appealing." I think. like for me personally, my thing is like it would always depend on my partner. Like if I if I could take care of a kid alone, whatever, if that it is what it is, that's like I would want to put myself in a position where I could, that I don't need my
Mm,
partner because there is no
mm,
guarantees in life.
right.
But I think the only way I could see myself actually like wanting, desiring to have a child is if I'm like so like on the same page with my like in sync with my partner and I'm just like, yeah, like you know what? I feel like we could like collab on something and it would be crazy. Like it would be
But
great, you
that's
know?
what Emma's
Like
saying. That's
right.
part of what Emma's saying. She's like, oh, like, yes, I really didn't want kids, but I figured out like these were the reasons why, like her medical issues, all the surgeries that she had when she was younger. Like, she
Which
doesn't
is
want,
valid, super valid.
yeah. The one thing that I didn't really think was that valid about like, oh, I don't know my biological parents, but I've never wanted to know them, so I don't know like what I could pass on, but like tested for so
Test
many
it
genes.
for sure.
So like I feel like that has like a solution, like that fear. Being with a good partner could make her want kids. I
Hmm.
think that's honest, and I think that's why Mike's open to it. And he literally said, like, oh, if she says yes at the altar, it means like she wants to have kids. Like that's what that means to him. And I
Yeah.
think,
I
but I
hated
feel
that
like
altar
she
moment
knows,
too.
yeah, I feel like she knows that though. Like if I say yes, I have to like want kids with this man.
I was hoping she was gonna say no. I really hope
I
I
thought
was like I wanted her to say
I
no
thought she
so bad.
was. Yeah,
Me
I thought
too.
she
She
was,
was
honestly.
like framing it like she was about to say no and then
Hmm. She
she
was
did that
like,
fake
that
out.
was, yeah, she was like, that was a yes. And I was like, what the heck? You couldn't just say I do?
Yeah, I know. And
Like,
what
what
I
do you
also didn't like
mean?
is him kind of like giving that ultimatum at that time in the altar. I don't know if it went over her head. Like I didn't see her really like she didn't answer his
Hmm.
question. Um, but I didn't
I
like
think,
that.
yeah, I think it was wrong moment, but right thing to say. Like,
That's
I
a
feel like
conversation
he,
they needed to have if they
right,
want to say yes or
right.
to make this decision. That's a conversation they absolutely needed to have. But right there, I think he kind of did that for his family, for his mom too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you could tell she was not with it. I felt bad even when she went to see Emma when she was getting
Hmm.
ready and I could feel it. I was like, yo, this woman doesn't really fuck with her. Like
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's a kid thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's like xenophobic or like racist or something because she's not Italian. She doesn't say gabagool or whatever the hell. But I could just tell like
Or
Emma
what,
would
how do
not
they
be her
say
pick.
coffee? They were trying
Coffee.
to make her, yeah, they were trying to make her say coffee like them. And I was like,
I feel like that's
okay,
not
she
even
can't.
that's like a New York thing. That's not an Italian thing, no? Coffee.
Yeah, or like Jersey, like there's a bunch of people there
Yeah,
that
East
different places
Coast.
have different accents. It's not like,
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Where she said, "Oh, we don't call it sauce. We call it gravy." Like, girl, if you
yeah,
don't sit the fuck down, like, all right, go stir your gravy. Nobody want to talk to you right now. Please get
yeah.
away.
I don't know.
Ugh,
I feel like that it also could just be one of those like weird mom and son things that like he has a mom that's like too much. That's like,
1,000%.
yeah. So I
But yeah, I
think,
wanted her to say no, and I'm hoping he says no in the coming episodes. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want her losing herself and
yeah.
sacrificing. I don't think she would be happy with kids. I don't know her,
Honestly,
but from what she's giving,
yeah.
I think she would be
I
bending
think
to his
she
will.
I think she could be happy with kids. I think she would make a good mom because of how honest she is, or like because of her experiences and because she's like open to it. I think her like trauma was like blocking her because maybe she secretly kind of did want kids.
True.
Like, because even when her sister's kids came to like meet him or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, like does this do something for you?" And she was like, "Yeah, it does."
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think I would kind of be mad if he says no to her after he said that at the altar and she said yes.
I'd feel both. I'd be annoyed because I wanted her to say no, but I don't like the way his mom
Yeah.
treats her. I don't think it'll be like super fruitful. I mean, anything can
Yeah.
happen. They get to know each other better and like anything
Hmm.
is possible. But like from our POV and like where we're sitting now, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I think there's a better match for both of them out there.
Yeah, I think she should have said no, but I would be mad if he said no after she said yes because he literally said there's a clip of him saying, if she says yes, then I'll say yes. Like, because like that means she wants
See, that would be
kids.
fucked up. Yeah,
I
that would
don't
be messed
think
up.
like even though his family was annoying, whatever, I don't think he let them get away with it completely because he did stand up to them, which I liked. Like he
Hmm.
was like, "Oh, like we've had these conversations," like, or he was like, "Oh, stop," or whatever. Or when his mom was like, "Oh, you had such an attitude," and he was like, "Well, you always call at the wrong times." Like,
Hmm.
like he didn't just let his mom like go off and then
Run
like
over
take it
him.
out
Hmm.
on, yeah, and then he never took it out on her. He never like that we saw.
Right.
So I appreciated that.
I don't know why when I see them, I just feel like there's something missing. But I don't know if it's because they're both guarded people, but I don't know. I'm like, I just feel both seem to be good humans. I just don't know if they're the right humans for each other.
Yeah.
I feel like outside of this experiment, I don't think they would have maybe, or maybe it would have been better if they did get together outside of this experiment. I kind of feel like this experiment, this show is kind
Hmm.
of forcing something that maybe could work if they had normal circumstances and time really to get to know each other, you know?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes when people are too like pressured, but they seem really good as a couple, I get annoyed when they don't try after. They just need more time. Then yes, say no at the altar, or maybe don't go to the altar, but then like date after, because maybe you
Right.
were meant to meet this person.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's true. And I feel like it always happens that way. I can't think of a couple that actually decided to continue. I don't know if it's just like an ego thing, because I feel like usually it's rarely both of them. Well, no, they once one person says no, it's a no. Because I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
rarely both of them say no. But like, um, I don't know. In the few other instances I saw where I feel like they could work out, they never try and make it work. Or even if they do, it just doesn't. I don't know if because people hold that against them, like you said no.
Yeah.
But if we're being realistic, like you all should say no. But then there's no point in the show. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think I have said this like when I talk about the show with people who have watched like all the seasons, I have said that I think they should just take a break for like 3 years
Yeah.
because it has become like people just being liars, just trying to get in the public eye and using the show as a platform to do that. And
Hmm.
then like the people who are there for genuine reasons get the most hurt.
Of
And
course.
honestly, when people are like in the pods and say one thing and then you trust them and then they flip, it could cause like some trauma for people
Yeah.
because that flip can be like, oh, I can like never trust people again. Like
Right.
I picked like that could make people feel that they picked wrong when really it was just the
That
other
person was
person.
trash.
Right. I think Alex is a liar. 1,000%. He never answers questions directly like, oh, I could go to Arizona. I could go to California. I could do this. I could do that. Like, you don't even have a real job right now.
At all. That man is running from the law or something. I don't know. He gets me so annoyed. Like from that
Yeah.
first, when she first questioned him after the pool convo, I already saw
Hmm.
it. I was like, oh, I know what type of guy he is. I could
Yeah.
see it the way he was answering. Well, I didn't think it was like anything out of line. And like he was
Hmm.
fidgety. Like he's not only is he a liar, he's bad at lying. And I
Yeah.
think Ashley is willfully ignorant in a lot of instances. I mean, we saw her putting
Hmm.
pieces together.
Hmm.
But back to that combo after the pool thing, like what was the biggest tell for me too is that when she like joked with him and she was like, oh, well, like, yeah, like tell me your whole combo. 'Cause he's like, I mean, if you want, I'll tell you what I said. She's like, yeah, do that. But she was joking.
Hmm.
And then she let him know. She's like, no, I'm just kidding. Like, it's fine. And then he was like, yeah, because I'm confident. Like, the sigh of relief, you could see he was just like, because he thought he
Hmm.
was about to get caught in some bullshit. And then he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I'll run it back if you want to. Like, I'm like, all right, get
Yeah.
this man off my screen. I knew he was trash before that, but that was a moment where it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I see what's going on here.
Yeah. And the whole
Um,
soccer thing, like him, he could get over that he was never a player. You could still want soccer in your life. You could still want to be a coach,
of course.
but like if that's your way to work through it, but don't be like, oh, soccer, like this happened in my life. So like I was really putting like that's so much pressure and I'm really just starting to process it now. Like that's a you thing. Like process that before you try to get married to someone. Like why are you going to put
Fully
it on someone else?
presents a whole genre of man that exists, and I'm
Yeah.
just the woulda, coulda, shoulda made it to the big leagues. Like that whole storyline. Like we all heard it, pa. Like keep it rolling. What are you doing now? I don't
Yeah.
care about who you could have been. Who are you now? Who are you trying to be? Like you can't like hang it up.
Exactly.
Hang the boots
Yeah.
up, bro. Nobody cares. And then also like you could just tell he's a hater the way he talks about other players. What was it? Tim
Oh my
Elliott,
God.
Sir
I
David Beckham.
know.
He's
Have you
just a
seen the other
weirdo.
players? There was one of the other players that he called a weirdo. He was like, "Oh, that guy's a weirdo. I met him." He went on like a podcast or something, and he was like, "Oh, I'll accept a public apology because I have proof that you're a fan."
Exactly.
So
And that was
he was
the
like,
best response.
"Yeah." He was like, "Oh, like if you don't give a public apology, that's fine, but I'll keep talking about it then." Like,
Yeah. Like I'll let it go if you just apologize. And what did he do? From what I haven't seen the apology video, but I
I
heard
haven't seen
that
anything,
he
but
did.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
I was looking for it, but like somebody was talking and like referencing things Alex said, so I was like, oh, that's weird because where
But
is
also,
this apology video? But yeah, no,
who
he's a weirdo. The real
yeah, like
weirdo.
who are you compared to David Beckham? Someone who did make it, someone who owns soccer teams. Like
It's just
who
insecurity, super loud insecurity coming out there.
that's just crazy to me to be like, oh, like he wasn't even that good of a player. Like,
And you didn't even
okay,
make it to the bench. The hell? Like, what are we talking? That's why I'm like, Ashley, like, I know you see what's going on here. Like, there's no way. And that's why I feel like these pods must really do a number on them because the way they'll stick beside these men when it's so evident that they're garbage. And I'm like, oh, it
yeah.
must be all those days of talking not face to face and you fell in love with the personality and you're like, I know
Oh
him
my
better than
God.
anyone. I hate when they say that. There was an instance, I don't remember who it was, but they were trying to say like, yeah, like, they just know me better than anyone else. Like, y'all are delusional. You have, let's say, even 2 weeks in those pods. A
Yeah.
complete stranger who you haven't seen knows you better than you're unhinged. If that's true, go talk to
Hmm.
the lady because there's no way.
Yeah.
Absolutely no way. But you see Ashley putting the pieces together when Priyanka's there. The whole Priyanka situation is sus as well.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think that his true colors kind of showed there too, which I've also seen people saying because they were like, "Oh, he's never been aggressive towards Ashley because he still feels in control when she's
mhm.
questioning him. So he still feels like, "Oh, she's believing me, like I can get away with this, whatever." But with Priyanka, I guess he didn't feel in control, so he was so aggressive towards her. He was like, "Why are you here? Like, why are you talking to me? Like this and that." As if they weren't already friends before the show. And she was like, bro, like, you don't need to come at me. Like, I know you.
Super weird energy all around. The only thing I will say for Ashley in that situation with Priyanka, I was like, at first I'm like, I don't know if she's trying to throw him an alley-oop and help him in his lies, or she's catching him in his lies because there was just too
Yeah.
many missteps, sidestep. Like, oh yeah, well, that, and then she was, oh yeah, because I remember and I'm like, I don't know if but whatever. But it seemed like she was enjoying it, and I was enjoying it, so I'm like, I'm gonna let her rock. Like, go,
Yeah.
go, go, go.
I don't know,
Um,
like you were saying, like, I don't know the intentions behind it, but I think it's good
at
that it's
all.
happened so it could
Yeah.
wake Ashley up. The part that pissed me off, but I also kind of understood was after their little fight or whatever, he was like, oh, you want some chicken nuggets? Or like,
That was so real. But like Ashley, I wish she would have waited. I wish she wouldn't have started questioning
yeah.
him in that moment. I'm like, hold the composure. She's a
Hmm.
Virgo. I'm thinking, stay stoic. Don't drop your mask. Just be like, hmm, okay. Take notes and then
Just
bring it to
start
him
like,
later.
yeah, just start
Yeah.
taking the notes and
I'm like, she's putting the red string together in real time. But I
hmm.
wish she just like kept it internal. But I understand like
Yeah.
emotions are heightened, alcohol's flowing, so whatever. She started to feed into it. Um, but yeah, the chicken, as frustrating as it was so
Hmm.
real because
Yeah.
that's in a relationship, it really do be like that. But to me, What I was thinking is like I could definitely be that way if I've already made up my mind. Where I'm like, it's a no. I'm not gonna fuck it. Let me at least go
Okay.
peacefully. Like, let's enjoy the rest of these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got
Yeah.
your number. I already know what I'm gonna do. So why
Hmm.
go down swinging? Why go down fighting? At least let me just ride this
Yeah,
out
when you like
smoothly.
check out.
Yeah, she just that's how I'm hoping she was feeling because
Okay.
that's how it would be for me. Like, all right, I've checked out.
Yeah.
I
I'm
already got
hoping
my
she
plan.
says no.
She better say no.
I'm gonna be so upset if she doesn't say no.
For her
But
dad's sake.
yeah, also like you were saying, like it is real because sometimes if we're like in a fight or something, well, if I'm in a fight with my boyfriend, I'll be like, "Oh, do you want to like get something to eat?" That's like the piece
The
to like,
icebreaker.
yeah, to like move on or just like be like, "Okay, whatever, maybe we were just hungry and cranky." And
Because some
like
things are
move
just not
on.
that serious, but like we all blow
Yeah.
things out of proportion. But
But
that,
their
no, that was
conversation was
serious.
serious. So
Yeah,
for
that
him
was
to
not the
just be like,
resolution.
"Oh, you want some chicken nuggies?" Like,
But that also
no.
tells me that like feeds into the same guy I saw before when he was all relieved. Like
Hmm.
he thinks he's in control. He just swept it up and got the
Yeah.
chicken nuggets and now we having a good time. Ha ha ha. Back again. I hope she's really plotting in silence.
Yeah, same.
I hope. But I know they're not gonna get
We'll
married. I just
see.
don't know who says no. Hmm.
I hope it's her, at least. If they both do, cool, fine, whatever. But like,
Right.
I
I
hope
want her
at
to say it
least,
no. Say it first.
yes.
Or him say
Yeah.
yes and her say no. Because, like, I also, last thing about them I'm going to say is I don't understand his commitment to living life by the seat of his pants. And trust me, I am, that's how I like to live. But I'm not going to drag somebody into my mess, especially when she has a
Hmm.
stable, secure job that she seems to
Hmm.
love. She said she really likes her job and she does well at.
Yeah.
So you want to uproot her and you got no plan.
Right.
I can't trust you to lead me to anywhere, not even to the soccer field. What are we talking about? Absolutely not. And
Yeah.
I think she's smart enough to see that, but I don't like his insistence of her quitting her job when he doesn't even have
Hmm.
anything lined up. That's weird to me. Poor
Yeah.
decision
Of him
making. I
being
think he's
like,
a
choose, choose,
Pisces.
choose, choose.
Let me double check. I'm pretty sure she's a Virgo and he's a Pisces, which would be
Hmm.
crazy, but it makes so much sense. Also, the way his name keeps changing.
Oh my God, I know I saw that too. And I was like, what are these? But I saw when I was looking up the cast list to like try to remember people's names, there was two Alexes.
There
So
were, yeah.
maybe that could have something to do with it. Like maybe the reason he went by a different name or whatever.
So he went by Alex here, but from all
Uh-huh.
accounts, he used to go by Alec with a C.
Oh, okay.
I
No,
saw
that's
TikTok
weird.
from, yeah, right? I saw TikTok from somebody who worked with him. I think the job he did prior
Hmm.
to Love is Blind. And she said, I mean, no notes like from a job perspective, but I'm pretty sure they let him go. And like, there's a lot of
Hmm.
like just things that are weird that don't add up from the person I
He's
knew and
hiding
what he told us.
something.
He a few dead
He's
bodies.
running
That's what
from
I
the
think.
law. Like, what do you
Absolutely.
mean you
And
changed your name?
there's no way. That man is suspicious and I don't think he realizes how suspicious he is. And his mom is kind of weird.
These are okay. This has to do with reality TV in general. If you have issues, especially in a place that you can get in trouble with the law, do not go on reality TV. You see it with the Real Housewives all the time, that they go, they show off, and then they give all the law, all the evidence they need to be like, oh, like you have a $10 million home, you didn't pay your taxes.
Yep.
And
People
then they
don't
all get
learn.
locked up. And then, or like one of the Real Housewives that was selling like fake products and sell as if they were like the real thing, locked up. Like you're doing years in prison, away from your children, all this stuff for what?
Yep. I don't know if it's narcissism, or that they're just like dumb and they don't believe that they're gonna
Hmm.
get caught, but like I need people to tap
Yeah.
in before
Sometimes
making
I feel
decisions.
bad. Do you watch like the Real Housewives? Or have you?
In the past, like way back in
Okay.
the day.
So with New Jersey, like Teresa and when she was married to Joe.
Hmm.
I think she was just the type of woman that would just let him handle the finances, and I think
I
she
agree.
didn't know.
I agree with that. I could see that. For their dynamic, I could definitely see that.
Yes. But for the other lady, I think her name was Jen Shaw. If that's not her name, I don't know.
Hmm.
But the other lady that was selling like dupes as if they were the real thing,
She knew what she was doing.
like, yeah. Or the other one that just is under investigation for insurance fraud because she said her and her husband claimed that their house got broken into and robbed. And in the list, they put like a whole bunch of jewelry that was worth like maybe like 200,000 or like $300,000, right? So they're under investigation for that because they found some emails of like them kind of plotting. And then there's
Mm.
also pictures of them wearing the pieces of jewelry after the supposed alleged robbery happened. So if this man changed his name for whatever reason, whoever he's running from,
Yeah.
like why do these people go on reality TV and do these things and then act like they won't get caught?
Yeah, I'm waiting for like the Surviving Alex H documentary or something that's gonna
Oh my
drop
God.
because
Yeah.
there's no way and that's what I keep saying. Every time I see him on my screen, I'm like, Ken and X, please come through and speak up
Mm.
because I know I don't, how is he getting away with whatever it is he's getting away with and nobody's like calling him out? I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. All of it.
I saw
Throw him in the
someone
trash.
saying, I saw someone saying all the places he listed that he wanted to move is where like runaways or like scammers go. Because he listed Arizona, Florida, and as a
Florida.
Florida girl, yes, there
Yep.
are a lot of, you will see so many finance bros, so many day traders in Miami being like, oh, yeah, I live in a nice apartment in Brickell. And then
Mm.
girls, like all of my single friends will be like, oh, yeah, like he lives in Brickell. This is not, I'm like, okay, he lives in an apartment. He could be in thousands of dollars of debt and you won't know.
Yep.
Like his lifestyle could look cool, but you don't really know how much finances are
Yep.
or how much
It's
debt he
real.
has because so many people are in debt just to keep up a show.
Yep. That's super real.
Yeah. So I feel like he's one of those.
1,000%. It's just a matter of time until we
Yeah.
find out. But that's what's happening. He's fraudulent.
Right.
I
I
think
think
we
that's
made it through
it.
all the couples.
That was our thoughts on all of the couples and Love is Blind season 10 so far. We're very
Hmm.
excited to see who says yes, who doesn't. I hope the only couple who says yes left is Victor and Christine.
1,000%. The only ones that should be saying that I could make a
Hmm.
case for saying yes. Yeah.
Yes. But let us know your thoughts in the comments and thank you for being pretty and ugly with us. Bye.